Alright, we're gonna start in a moment, everybody. I'm just getting everything reset up. I don't know what was going on. I figured it out though. So we're gonna try to get Theta up and running real quick so we can get everything going. Right? Alright. Alright. Theta is up. Let's see. YouTube should be up. Twitch should be up. We should be ready to go. We can get a little background music. Copyright free. Stream starting soon. Oh man, I need to shave. Look at that. Alright. Well. We're gonna give it a moment. Let's hope Chris can hear me. Nice. You can hear me just fine, I hope. All right. We should be good to go. I believe we're good to start. We got Theta running, we got Twitch running, we got YouTube running. It's my first Theta stream ever, so that was a little bit of a stepping stone to get everything up and running. So we're starting a little late, but you know, better late than never. This isn't even going to be that long of a stream, not too long to show everything on KuCoin. Really, I'm not even going to get into everything. This is just a basic class for anybody who wants to do future trading on the KuCoin platform. I had a few friends ask me to do this so that way they could understand it a little bit better and get into it. My main focus, as you'll see on the screen, is going to be with Gala. Gala is a gaming platform for blockchain gaming, and so you can do future trades with Gala and a number of other metaverse, NFT, cryptos, as you see here. So I mean, I've already taken up starting a little bit late, so we'll just jump right into it. If you go to KuCoin, brought up to the home page, you'll see I'm already logged in. You can go over here to your wallet and you'll see your futures account is a way to get to the trading, or you can just go into the trade screen, and see down here above the above where you would enter your trading password, you'll see futures 100x. You just click on that, you get brought right into the future trading screen. And yeah, I mean, it's really that simple to get there. And then we'll go on over to Gala, and we can start breaking down what we're looking at. So obviously this is the chart, the price chart. If you go to the top here, as you see where my mouse is, you can select a different timeline for which trading you want to be taking place in. Some people will trade on the 1 minute timeline, which is, you know, really quick trades. I don't necessarily recommend it. As you see, you can catch some nice gains on the 1 minute. You can also, it's just a lot faster trading, you guys, and so you got to be looking at the chart all the time, consistently going back and checking and making moves. It's not something I particularly do, but you know, if you're doing future trades on the Forex market, or you know, even some stocks, you could probably do future trades with what Hugo's Way is a broker I was using. There's a lot of brokers out there, and so I'm not going to get into all the different brokers you can use. I like KuCoin because KuCoin, you can do future trades with crypto, and doing future trading with crypto is a little bit different than with Forex or anything else. With Forex, I would suggest, you know, if you're going to get into this, you could go to my Discord here, and under resources, if you scroll up, you'll see I have a Forex chart pattern graph or image that you'll be able to go to and look at the different chart patterns that can be formed. And knowing these chart patterns are really good and really beneficial if you're trading on the Forex market. Trading in the crypto market, I say these aren't nearly as beneficial, knowing just because the crypto market fluctuates so quickly, has so much volatility, and so much emotion is behind every trade in crypto that it's more challenging to find a set structured system to go by and be able to win trades, you know, consistently. And so if you're learning future trading on the Forex market, these are wonderful chart patterns to know. Not only these, but understanding candlestick patterns and what different candlesticks mean or represent. So like if we go in right here, you'll see a nice example of an engulfing candlestick would be this red one right here. You know, this is just a quick example. It engulfs the previous candlestick, the one right prior to it, and that's considered an engulfing candlestick. So when you see it in the red here, it represents that price could potentially be headed down because of how large this candlestick is, overtaking the one prior. So there's set structures that in systems you can go by and follow when trading in the Forex market, which can bring you a 70%, you know, 70% chance of being right on which way price will go. And so when you have 70% odds and you do proper risk management with your portfolio or with your money, you can essentially, if you're winning 7 out of 8 or 7 out of 10 trades, then, you know, with proper risk management of your money, no matter what, you're going to make money. Like it's a system, it's a set way. 7 out of 10 times you're completing a successful trade where essentially you could be doubling your money on all 7 of those trades. And if you're just doubling $5 every time, you're ending the day with $35. You lost 3 of them. You only lost. You're doubling your money off $5 every time. That's $70 you would make on 7 trades. You'd make $35 profit. and you would have lost only $15 off the 3 trades that you lost. So with proper risk management, you can see how getting profits isn't a challenging thing. It's actually quite simple when you're following certain systems. You know, one good system I was taught is the master candle system. The master candle system is good, but like I said, it's good to follow when you're trading Forex, not necessarily trading crypto. Crypto just has a lot more emotion behind it. So at that point, it's a lot more challenging to dictate whether or not price is going to go up or down on the same indicators that you're using trading in the Forex market. Okay, so we're going to get into everything now. We started with the timeline. Right here's the timeline. What I like to do when coming into the charts is go to, it's called a top-down analysis, and that's when you go from the highest timeline all the way down to the lowest time that you're willing to trade in, and you're marking out the charts. You know, you see these bars right here. These are support and resistance zones that I've marked up previously. And so a support and resistance zone is a zone that price is going to bounce off of quite often. Like price will hit this zone, and as you see here, this is essentially the bottoming out of price. When it gets to this zone down here, we call this a support zone because price is going to hit it and bounce off it and go up, go higher. We call it a resistance zone. A support zone can turn into a resistance zone if price breaks it. Okay, so right here you see price broke what I have as a support zone right here. This is a support zone because price comes right here, bounces off it. You see the green candlestick where it goes back up, but you know, price didn't hold above 36 to 38 cents, so it broke through the support zone and then became a resistance zone. And you see that here where price goes down below the zone, comes back up and does a retest of what used to be a support zone, and now it becomes a resistant zone. Resistance, as price is now resisting going any higher. Okay, and when price does that, you can see it continued to make its downfall right here. So a good trade going into this would have been, you know, if you would have been back here in December, knowing where the market is headed, and these are things you got to take in consideration when you're doing future trades. You know, are we in a bear market? Are we in a bull market? What currency are you trading? Gala is a gaming currency, and so where do you think price is going to go moving forward? If we were back here in December, I wasn't doing future trades in December. I was focused on NFTs back then, and I recently have moved back over my focus to future trading. But in December, we knew we were headed into a pretty strong bear market. So knowing and seeing all the signs of this, and seeing Gala at its all-time high of 80 cents right up here, a really smart and good trade would have been to buy a short, to get in on a short when price was up here. A short is essentially you're betting that price is going to go down. A long is you betting that price is going to go up. Okay, so if you look to the right here, you'll see buy a long, sell a short. Okay, these are both these buttons will enter you into a trade. All right, you can enter into a long, which is your betting price will go up, or you can enter into a short where your betting price will go down. All right, it's just that simple. You go above and you'll see leverage. All right, so this is one of the beautiful things about trading in a futures trade, is you can now utilize leverage from the broker. And so what that means is you put up, you know, $100 with 5 times leverage, the broker is going to put up 5 times your $100 to give you more, the ability to make more money, essentially. But with that ability to make more money comes with the ability to lose more money. All right. So if I were to go onto just KuCoin's regular trading platform, I would be able to buy Gala straight up right now for about 27.5 cents. No matter what happens to Gala at that point, Gala can go down to 2 cents, and I will still hold. I will still hold a certain amount of Gala tokens, no matter what the price falls or goes to, right? But when you're buying a future, or when you're getting into a future trade, when you enter into a future trade, whether it's a long or short, you have the chance to lose all your money, all right? And so a good way to explain that is if you see my current trade down at the bottom here, I entered into Gala. Don't worry about the amount here, but I entered into Gala with some money, and my entry price, you can see, is 0.24333. All right, that is the price I entered into the trade. Now, if Gala would turn around and go, just crash and go down to, you know, 15, 16 cent, my liquidation price now is 20 cents, 0.20246. So if Gala hits that price, whatever money I have in this trade, I will have lost all of it. I will be at $0 right here. Okay, and so that's one thing you have to take in consideration when entering into a trade. You know, whether you're entering into a long or a short, you have to realize you could lose all the money you've put into this trade. It's not like buying the token straight up where you just can't lose that token unless you sell it. You don't lose unless you sell. Well, with a future trade, you can definitely lose when and if price goes down to your liquidation price. All right. So one way to prevent that loss is you can have some money sitting in your future account. If you go up to, you know, your assets here, this is my future wallet for my future trades. You can see here that I still have an available balance of about $300, and usually I have a little bit higher, but I've invested more of my available balance into Gala as Gala went up in price, because I believe we're on an official bull run, and I believe Gala will keep going up in price in the near future. I don't see it going back down anywhere near, you know, 20 cents. And if it does, I still have that $300 there to auto deposit into my position, so that way it will lower my liquidation price and I'll still be in the trade. I won't get knocked out of the trade. And so that's something everybody entering into a trade will have to take in consideration for themselves. Okay, a lot of times I won't do that. I'll have a stop loss set up or a take profit set up, and we'll get into that. We can get into that right now, actually. A take profit would be a point of exit on your trade where, so I got into the trade at 24 cents. Excuse me. Let's say I wanted my take profit to be at 100%. Well, at 100%, it's about 29 cents. So I would put my take profit right here at, you know, 0.29. Oh, that 0.29. And you see there that's where my take profit would be. I'd make about $2,200 profit on that trade, And I could set that so now if price jumps up that high, as soon as price hits that, it'll automatically sell for me, and I'll take my profits. And then I'll be out of the trade. I'll no longer be in a future trade. And it's a way to secure your profits if you think price is going to jump up and then just crash right back down. It's a good way to set so that way if you go to bed and you don't want to be watching the trade, you can automatically exit the trade when you hit a certain price. You see 100% profit for me would be at just over 29 cents. So if you're buying Gala on KuCoin and you're not doing a future trade, you're just buying the tokens, one thing is you're going to have to wait until Gala hits a 2x, so essentially over 50 cents. You'll have to wait for Gala to hit before you'll make 100% on your investment. All right? And so that's one of the beautiful things about doing a future trade is I'll hit a 2x or 100% on my investment after, just about 5 cents. And so we'll see, if I 200%, I'll have made 4,500 on my invest. This is profit, $4,500 profit at just under 34 cents. So I don't have to wait for a Gala to go to 50 cents to make a 2x on my money. It's one of the great things about future trading. But take in consideration though, you're 75%, you're going to lose 75% of your investment if you had entered in the same point as I did. 75% of your investment will be gone at 0.2128 cents, so just over 21 cents. Then 75% of my original investment will be gone, and it'll be a little scary at that point. If you're not willing to risk, if you're not willing to take the risk on the loss, then you can't be willing to accept the gains that you could get. It is a much more riskier endeavor than buying the tokens on KuCoin itself, or buying tokens on Sushi Swap, or just holding tokens in general. Those tokens may lose their value, but they could always gain the value back. Whereas here, if you get taken out of the trade because you've hit your liquidation price, then you're gonna have to enter into a new trade with new money. You've lost that money you were entered in the trade with, right? So it's just something to take in consideration if you're looking at doing future trades. There definitely is potential for you to lose a lot more than there is if you just buy the token straight out, right? So I'm not going to get into a limit or stop. I just stick to the limit. If you want to enter into a trade, limit, price, you can enter into the price, whatever price you want. If we want to buy it, if we think Gala is going to drop back down to 26 cents, we'll have a price set for 0.26. How much of your portfolio do you want to invest? This is how much money is in your futures trading account. All right, not your trading account. So if we go back to KuCoin here and load our wallets, you'll see our main account, trading account, margin account, futures account. All right, whatever is in your futures account is what you are able to put onto a trade, right? So if I want to do 25%, you can see here 25% of my portfolio is $73.43 down here, and I want to do a 5-time leverage. You'll see 5 times my 73 is about 364, right? And you could set your take profits here if you wanted to just set your take profits up. You think Gala is going to drop to 26 and then go right back up to 29. You could set your take profit for 29. And if you're worried you're going to enter in, but Gala is going to keep dropping, you could set your stop loss at 25 cents. As you see, that's a 22% loss rate with a 58% gain on this trade. And you would set that as a long, right? And so I'll go ahead and do this because it's not going to fulfill unless Gala drops to 26 cents, right? So right there, now you see right there's my trade. I just entered into it. If Gala were to fall this low again, I would automatically be entered into that trade with the stop loss set up, everything. But keep in mind, I already have a Gala trade open, so that stop loss would go into effect for my entire trade position. So if this order was fulfilled, it would automatically get put with this order. They would be combined, all right? And so when they combine here, your stop loss and your take profits will also be combined. That's one thing you want to be able to take in consideration, right? So that's if you want to do, if you see Gala is at a really good buy point and you don't think it'll go any lower or higher, and you just want to enter into the trade at market value, this lightning bolt on the side here will change the price to market value. You can enter in with however much you want. You don't even have to do 25%. We could do 500. We do 500. You see that's only $28. And at that point, with 5 times leverage, you could just hit buy, and it's going to automatically buy and enter you into the trade. It's really that simple. You see the orders going on in real life time, sells, buys, right here, real-time trades. And so you can kind of see what people are doing in real time. But besides that, there's not much more to it. If you've ever seen TradingView, you got all the same tools right on the left-hand side here to be able to mark up your charts, and we'll get into that a little bit in a moment. But besides that, let's see, guys, it's really just that simple. You can get much more in depth with it if you want to learn about what a stop trade is compared to a limit trade. That's all stuff you don't need to know to be able to do future trades right here on KuCoin. Literally all you need to know is place your order, limit order, place the price you want to enter into that order, how much of your portfolio you want to enter into that order, set your take profit or stop loss for a long or for a short, depending which one you're going to buy, and then that's it. You enter into your trade, and you're either making money or losing money. It's that simple. Alright, so going back to the timeline, how I was talking about a top-down analysis. Alright, so this is what I like to do before entering into a trade. As you can see, I had it marked up, the M formation or 2 mountaintop formation. We'll going back here, you can see this is a formation right here, the double top. It's a reversal formation, and you can kind of see it did kind of play out kind of how it was supposed to. You know, it doesn't happen very often, but price shot up over here. It hit its peak at 38 cents, 38.5 cents. Came back down to the next support zone, the next really big support zone. Price came back up, retested to make the double top formation, and came crashing all the way back down. It almost came all the way back down to where it started at. Okay, and so you'll see on the chart a proper M-top formation. Price would have went back up, retested this price zone here, the resistance, and potentially came crashing back down below, where it made its low price mark, its low point, its bottom, right? So I don't really worry about that too much. Like I said, with trading crypto, crypto is a lot more volatile and a lot more emotional based, and so you don't have to really worry about these candlestick formations or chart patterns when trading crypto. They're just good to know, to have in the back of your knowledge base. So if you see something like this forming, you can know what potentially is going to come of it, right? So this is the day time frame, and as you see, I have my primary support resistance zones marked up. I would say this is a key, this is a key zone, right? And when you see a key zone being broke, most of the time you're gonna see that key zone being broke with a really big candlestick, whether it's being broke to the downside or whether it's being broke to the upside. You're going to see a large candlestick making the break, making price break through that resistance zone or that support zone. And when price breaks through a support or resistance zone, it likes to continue to whatever side it's moving. As you see, when it breaks here, it broke here, came down, retested, came down, broke this zone, and then came all the way down here. And so now you see over a time period, price kind of consolidated. Consolidated means moving from left to right with no clear zones being broke. It's just kind of staying within a certain price zone. And for, from January through part of February, you see price did that here between 17, 18 cent, upwards of 20, 21 cent. Yeah, we're going to have wicks come down. These wicks right here are a key sign of potential market manipulation. And so in crypto, markets can be manipulated quite easily by the whales. All right, we all know that. And so when you see price come down, wicking all the way down to a low point that you don't really see anywhere else, especially when it does it twice in a row like this, it's a good sign market manipulation is going on, and they're trying to, these candle wicks are there to cause trades to get exited. And so somebody had probably bought a long right here at like 18 cent, and they're like, okay, Gala's going to go up, so I'm going to get in on a long trade. They entered into a long trade, and then what happened? Price wicked back down, most likely hitting their stop loss. Since it's only, it's 2 cent lower, that's a significant stop loss for somebody. That's still probably a 25% stop loss. So they're still going to lose 25% of their money here. And that's the scary thing about some of these trades, is if you don't enter in at a proper point, the market could come and get you, exit your trade, hit your stop loss, and then look what happened. Over 2 days later, price flew back up to 24 cent, 23 cent. And so, yeah, it came back down, consolidated for a few more days, and then it took an even higher jump to 38 cent. So yeah, you knew price would go up, so you entered into a long trade, but the market took you out literally moments before price did exactly what you thought it would do, and now you're not making any of those profits because you were taken out by the broker. And so that's one thing to keep in mind, right? So once you've marked up your key support and resistance zones on the 1 day time frame, as you see here, price interacts with these support and resistance zones fairly often. And how can you tell what a support resistance zone is? Like I said, you'll see price bounce off of these areas, quite often. We can't go back any further with Gala because this is when they were put onto KuCoin's future market. So we can't go any further back. We don't have a whole lot of information to mark out the charts, but we have enough to be able to see what's been going on the last few months and to play it appropriately going forward. And if you know Gala Gala's been making a run since last year. I mean, they've been building game after game after game. They're also a music studio at this point, releasing Snoop Dogg's most recent album under Gala Music. And so Gala definitely is making a lot of power moves, and I see them going back to their all-time highs of 80 cent this next bull run, no problem. So we just did the 1 day. We come down to the 8 hour now. Excuse me, sorry. And now at the 8 hour, you can start to see more support and resistance zones being formed, right? And so I got one marked up right here. It's a fairly good one. We can drag it out. We got another one right here, which is an even smaller one. I probably wouldn't mark this one until the 4 hour time frame, but you can see its point. And we can duplicate these by right clicking, clone, and boom. Let's see. A good zone, I would say another really good zone is right here. You see price hitting, coming back down, hitting again, breaking through, and then retesting off of it, breaking through, breaking back through, and then retesting right here until it heads up to the next level. Okay, and so you notice the daily zones are going to be bigger zones than your 1 hour zone. You know, these daily zones are going to, you know, price can move in a day, especially Gala. Gala could move 10 cent in a day. Like look at this bar right here. Gala was at 20 cent right here, and at the end of the day they were at 30 cent pretty much. So 29. So literally Gala moved 9-10 cent in that 1 day, right? So this is why the zones for the daily are going to be bigger than once we get down into the lower time frames, right? So now we've made our way down to the 4 hour time frame, right? 4 hour time frame, you can see some support resistant levels I don't have marked up. Like this one, approximately right here is a zone. Sometimes they're difficult to mark up. Sometimes, you know, you're not 100% sure where it is. But I would say this is about the zone. Right in there. Right in there is about the zone. And then we can clone it, and another zone, I would say right up in here. Right up in here is another zone. And so these are key price zones. You see price is it was retesting on the zone multiple times right here. And it's not nowhere near as big as the daily time frame. So with the daily time frame, price easily broke through these zones right here, right? We just marked up a couple of these. You see price easily broke through those zones. Price definitely had some resistance there that you can see on the daily, but it's not quite like this zone up here, and it's not quite like this zone down here, you know. Alright, so now going back down, we're in the 4 hour mark. Now is when this is where I start to consider my trades. I don't really consider entering into a trade on the daily or the 8 hour, but once I get to about the 4 hour, I'm starting to see what price has been doing. This is where I start considering entering into a trade. Okay, so going back to the 1 day time frame, we've marked out our support and resistance zones, right? So now what we want to do is figure out what the trend is for this certain token. right? What trend is happening? So if we know trends are what direction is price moving in a somewhat consistent flow. And so right here we can see price was consolidating somewhat through here, and then right here you can see this is a clear come on now. This is a clear sometimes you click on all these buttons up here, so I'd just be careful with that. It's not really gonna mess anything up, but right here you can see, make this thicker, and we'll make it purple. Purple should be good. As you can see here, the trend was going down, right? It's a clear sign, and the trend is going down. You mark out the trend line from, depending if it were in a bearish trend or a bullish trend. This is a bearish trend, and so you see prices going down. So you want to mark the trend on the top of the candlesticks, right? And if you duplicate this and bring it down, I hate when they do that. You can kind of see here that this is your trend zone, right? Right here is about your trend zone. So this is kind of where you expect price to move, you know? When price came up to this peak and it started to reverse right here, we honestly probably would have thought the trend was in a bullish trend at this point, you know? And this could have definitely been something that caught you off guard and caused you to enter into a bad trade. But with price right here, this was a nice little bullish movement, but I wouldn't consider it a clear sign that we're in a bullish trend, okay? And so you just gotta be careful. Like I said, crypto is one thing. You can use all these indicators, but it's just really challenging sometimes to be able to tell what way price is going to move, right? Hey Krista, thanks for being in here. I appreciate it. I'm just giving a little talk on KuCoin, future trading using KuCoin as your broker. I had a few friends want me to do this, and so I'm just trying to help them to understand it a little bit better. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll definitely answer the best that I know how, or the best that I can. I'm not an expert on this stuff. I just know what I'm doing well enough to make myself money, and so I love sharing the knowledge with others. And yeah, so that's where we're at right now. We've already gone through a lot of it, so like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and I'll answer where and when I can. But we're talking about the trend zones and trend lines right now. As you see, all right, we were talking about the nice little bull trend right here, and then a bear. You can see price moved right away back into a bearish trend, right? And when the trend line gets broke, like you see over here on March 14th, this is kind of where we can tell price broke the trend line. Now what is it going to do? Is it going to consolidate? Are we in a bullish trend again? These are all questions you kind of have to ask yourself, but it's sometimes it's challenging to figure out the answers to these questions. And so I'll get into my strategy after I'm done kind of explaining everything. I'll get into how I've been trading Gala and the strategy I've been using behind it. It's not a clear-cut strategy, not anything that's been solidified by any experts, but as you can see at the bottom, it is making me money, and so I'm not mad at it. I'm gonna keep doing what I do to make money. So so as you see here on the daily time frame, at March 14th, we can see our trend was broken, right? About B Network. Actually, my friend tried to get me into B Network a little while ago. I don't know a lot about it, though, to be honest. But okay, so trend was broken right here, and we can see price has been on a nice trend, a smaller trend, on its way up. Right here would be my trend. That would be my official trend line right here, and the zone, I would say, is essentially right there. So as you see, price likes to stay in a trend zone. It will bounce off your trend line, go up to the top of the zone, and then revert back down. Price cannot just consistently move up. A green bar like this is rare. This isn't something that happens all the time. You know, in crypto, it definitely happens way more often than on the Forex market, or if you're doing future trading with stocks. You'll definitely see a green or red bar this size way more often in crypto. And so that's why I say again, you know, people trade crypto using a lot of emotion, and so it's a lot more volatile and a lot more risky than if you were to use these tactics on the Forex market. And I say, if anybody doesn't know what the Forex market is, it's the foreign exchange market where you deal with currency pairs such as the USD with the peso, or you know, the yin with the ruble, or literally any currency pair around the world paired together is what the Forex market is. Okay, it's this foreign exchange. You're trading currencies, and people make millions doing trading on the Forex market every day. And so something to keep in mind. But all right, so now you see where the trend has been for Gala's price. Sometimes you will see the price wick down below the trend line or wick up above it, but essentially it's staying within this zone, right? Now that we have our trends marked out, we have our support and resistance zones marked out, we can head back down to the 4 hour, and even the 1 hour we'll head down to. And so I like to stay above the 15 minute. I like to stay on the 1 hour, so that way I'm not consistently looking at the charts. I'm not, you know, all day every 15 minutes looking at the chart trying to figure out, do I want to enter a trade, do I want to exit a trade. It just brings a whole lot more stress to the game that I'm just not looking for. I like to enter into a trade. I've been in this trade for, you know, a couple of weeks now because I got busy and I didn't want to have to worry about the trade, and so I actually got in and price went down to like 22 cents, and I could have got in at a much better entry point, but again, you know, I was busy in my life and I didn't have the time to be trading, so I entered into the trade knowing I was going to be in this trade for the next month, 2 months possibly, right? I still don't have any plans on exiting this trade anytime soon, okay? Unless I decide to focus daily on trading, I'm secured at a good position, a good entry position, and I know Gala during this next bull run will go back up to its all-time highs, and so that's where I'm waiting for, right? And so if I were to exit this trade now, you know, I'd make 1,500. That's good. If I were to wait till Gala goes back to its all-time high of what, 82 cents, my profits then are going to be a lot closer to 26 grand instead of 1,500. All right. At that point, I would have made, oh gosh, what, like 1,500, 2,000% profits on my trade, which is significantly larger than if I were just holding the Gala token. If I were to just hold the Gala token and it goes up to 80 cents, that's a 3x from where it is. And so I would essentially be walking away with, oh god, my entry was, I don't know, 1,500 or so, 1,800, something like that, maybe even 2,000. So let's say 2,000, I would be looking to cash out 6,000. You know, I'd get a 3x on it. But utilizing future trades, I'll be able to cash out 27,000. Way more, right? So just something to keep in mind. Appreciate the follow, by the way, Krista. I appreciate you being in here. Like I said, once I get done with the class, I'll definitely be open for discussions on anything else you want to talk about. The B network, I believe, is something like the Pi network, where you mine it on your phone. You gotta just tap it once a day or something like that. But like I said, I don't know a whole lot. So now getting back into the 1 hour time frame. Right here we see price is moving right along our trend zone quite nicely. It's bouncing off our support and resistance zones quite nicely. And so where is our next support resistance zone that we're looking for? Our next key big zone is all the way up here about 36 cents, right? So yeah, out of nowhere, price could fly all the way up to 36 cents. We've seen Gala move 10 cents in a day before. So it's not unlikely for Gala to move 10 cents in a day again. It's not unlikely. Okay, it's not excuse me. Sorry, still getting over being sick a little bit, so excuse my cough. That's another reason why I hold on to the trade and I don't just exit the trade right away, right? Is I believe Gala is, so this is me kind of getting into my strategy a little bit, right? Gala, like I said before, it's a gaming studio. They have about 10 games, some in the works, some already launched. They have one of the biggest strategic blockchain games out right now, which is Townstar. Mirandus, which is going to be somewhat of like a RuneScape style game, which would be a huge open world platform where you can earn NFTs and crypto alike. Excuse me. Also, they have a couple of space games coming out with the tank battle game. They just got quite a lot, and they're not slowing down anytime soon. They just opened Gala Music, which they released Snoop Dogg's most recent album. So with all of this, Gala is a force to be reckoned with in the blockchain space. They being at 27 cents is still a good entry point, right? Because their all-time highs, they're at 80 cents. So the likeliness of them going back to 80 cents is strong, very strong. So that's why I don't buy, or I don't enter into short trades, because that's me betting the price will go down. Yeah, of course, the price will jump up, like at times like this, where it jumped up to here, it hit the top of my trend zone. I could have easily taken that bet and been like, all right, let's enter into a short, because Gala is going to come back down and most likely hit the trend zone that I have marked out here. If anything, hit this support zone I have marked out right here, and that's a nice little gain I could have got right there. But that happened over the course of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7 to 10 hours, right? So now you got to be trading. You got to really be trading on the daily, on the daily, multiple times a day. You have to be checking the charts, and you got to be comfortable betting that Gala is going to come back down and retest the support zone to enter into a short trade, right? And for me, I'm just not comfortable making that bet, because at any moment Gala could have hit up here at 28, 29 cents. It could have came down here to just 27, maybe 27 and a half, and then somebody could have bought in, and we see Gala fly up to over 30 cents. It could have easily happened. It's not unlikely. So that's why I only bet on Gala going up, you know, and that's why I entered in at a much lower entry price. I entered in down here. I actually entered in at about 23.5 cents, a little over 23.5 cents. So it was somewhere around this point is where I entered in, right? And I did that for a couple of reasons. I did that. I could have, if I would have entered in 2 weeks prior, I could have got in at a much lower point at about 21, 22 cents, but I was busy with life, you know. Situation dictates, and your situation is going to dictate how you do your trading, right? And so my situation dictated that I wasn't able to enter in until a little bit higher of a price point. For me, that was still good. I had about $600 left in my future account, so that way in case price would continue to crash or decide to crash again and go down to 20 cents, my liquidation price, my auto deposit is on. So meaning if price were to hit my if Gala's price were to hit my trade's liquidation price, the bot would automatically use my portfolio money in my future trading account, okay? Just my futures account, not my margin, not my trading, not my main account, just my future account. The bot would use that money to auto deposit into this trade to lower my liquidation price and keep me in the trade, right? That is a risky move, all right? I'll be the first one to admit that is a risky move. And the reason that is a risky move is because if you don't have a lot of money in your future account and you're all in on this trade and price decides to go down there and touch your liquidation price, you could potentially auto deposit in with the rest of your money, and then price could potentially keep falling, and eventually it's going to drain your account and you'll lose. Like I said, once you hit liquidation price, you're done. You are forced to exit your trade because you no longer have any money. You're at zero money. And so that's what makes this riskier. But going back to my strategy, I fully believe in Gala. I look to see where Gala's bottom dollar is, and in the recent months, what was this all the way back here? Beginning of February, we see Gala's price hit lows of 15 to 16 cents at its very low, right? And you see it didn't stay there very long at all. As soon as it nicked down here, people were buying. As soon as it came back down, people were buying. Not only were people buying, they bought so much right here that it consolidated for a little bit and ended up shooting up to 40 cents, almost 39 cents. All right, that would have been a great gain. And so if I would have got in back here, I for sure would have exited up when it hit up here at 39.40 cents. The reason I would have exited is because this was the beginning of February. At the beginning of February, we didn't really know where the market was going to go. The bull run wasn't officially back on. I believe Gala just released something during this time is what caused the price to go up so significantly. And so that would have been a really great gain, right? And that would have been a good time to exit your trade and wait for another good entry point, right? And so I would have exited my trade up here, and then I personally probably wouldn't have bought or got in on a short. And the reason I wouldn't have got in on a short is just because the risk to reward at that point wouldn't have been worth it for me. The risk of Gala going up even further was still there. You know, Gala's all-time highs is 80 cents, and it was only made it back up halfway to 80 cents. And so the risk to reward just wouldn't have been lucrative for me to enter back in on a short trade, right? But then you see Gala continued its way back down. Remember, this is the hour time frame, so each one of these candlesticks is only 1 hour of time. But through time, Gala came back down here and found itself consolidating right here between 21 and 24 cent, right? So a good way to play this during the consolidation, you could have entered in at 21, 22 cent, cashed out at 23 to 24 cent, entered back in, cashed back out, entered back in, cashed back out, entered back in, cashed out. You could have literally done it, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 to 5 times. 4 to 5 times you could have entered into a trade and exited 2 to 3 cents later and made 50%, at least a 50% increase on your trade every single one of those. So in a matter of just, what was this, beginning of March to the end of March, in 15 days, if you were on top of this, in 15 days you could have entered and exited the trade 5 times, making roughly 50% or more, but let's say 50% on every single trade 5 times. That is a 250% increase on the, whatever limit you're using as a trade, whatever the amount of portfolio you're using as a trade. You would have been able to increase that by 250 times, 250% in a 15-day time period. That's the power of trading during a consolidation phase, right? And you can do this with Ethereum, Bitcoin. KuCoin has multiple currencies you can do this with, as you see here. Even Zill, and Zill's been hot recently. Oh my goodness, they're up 64% today. Dang, I think they've done like a 6x in the last week. And so that would have been, so imagine buying Zill as a future trade. Okay, they just got released on KuCoin futures, literally a day ago. So you wouldn't have been able to catch it until they had it on here. But even in the last day, as soon as they got on KuCoin future, if you would have bought a long, you could have made one heck of an increase on your investment, right? All right. Okay, so going back to Gala, we see the consolidation phase kind of ended, and this is where I entered into my trade, somewhere roughly in here, where I had the availability to enter, and now I had about $600 in my portfolio as a safekeeping to auto deposit, but with Bitcoin reaching 47,000 again, and with the market showing clear signs of a bull run again, there's very clear signs we're in a bull run once again, and that price is most likely going to keep moving up, right? So with those signs, I felt comfortable entering in, and then when Gala's price jumped up here to 29 cents, I waited for a little bit of a dip, and then when it dipped back down somewhere in here, I entered into another position with Gala for half of my portfolio. And so now I only have about $300 left in safekeeping in case price hits my liquidation price. But I am much more comfortable knowing Bitcoin is where it is, knowing the market is where it is. I am comfortable with the bet that Gala is going to go up in price and not come back down near my liquidation price. I don't see Gala coming back down to 20 cents anytime soon, right? But this is crypto, anything could happen, right? So that's why I do keep that 300 still. I'm not going to enter in with that 300 just in case. When I see Gala hit 36 cents, dang, I think all my support resistance zones just got deleted. Oh no, there it goes. So if I see Gala come up here and break my support or resistance zone, I would then enter into another long trade with the last of my portfolio, because now with Gala being above my next resistance zone, it will become a support zone. Now I'll feel comfortable Gala will for sure not come back down to anywhere near my liquidation price, and so I would feel comfortable at that point entering into another trade with the remaining balance of my portfolio. Okay, but I would also be in profits on my existing trade. Oh gosh, if it went up another 10 cents, I would be up about another 200%. And so when Gala gets to about 37 cents, I'll be up about a 270% increase on my trade, right? And so that's when I would feel comfortable entering back in, or entering in with the rest of my money, I should say. But besides that, that's about it. My whole strategy is just to essentially trade Gala. I do future trades with other currencies, but my favorite is Gala because of how well solidified they are as a company, not only in the gaming space, but they're making headway in the music industry. Gala has a very strong future. There's a very, very high chance we'll see Gala's price go over $1 this next bull run, and that's why I only hold on to long trades. Okay, when it comes to Gala, I'm only going to enter into a trade as a long and not as a short, just because I'm completely bullish on them. And yeah, I mean, that's about it, you guys. There's not really much more to it than that. I went a little bit longer than I thought I would, but I got into a little bit more detail than I thought I would. The only things I really didn't talk about too much is like the Fibonacci sequence, which, Fibonacci sequence is cool and good to know, but essentially what that does is kind of shows you an indicator of where price will retrace back to. And so if you see right here is where a run started. Price ran from this point all the way up to here. This is one run. Like, this is not the entire chart all the way to the right here. Just this area from here to here is where Gala made a nice little run, a nice little bull run, right? So you mark that up with the Fibonacci retracement tool. Boom. And this is just an indicator of where price is likely to move, right? Let's delete some of these. Oh, let's not delete that one. All right. So you see price started at the bottom here. This is where your 0 point is, and it came up to, or this is where your 1 point is, and it came up to the 0 point at the top here. And so knowing Fibonacci sequence and using it as an indicator, you can assume, okay, you're only assuming that price is going to come back down and retest the 50% mark, right? The 50% to 75% mark are areas of retracement. All right, so price made its way up. It's going to come back down and retrace back down to about the 50% mark is where it hit. So knowing that, it's not going to bounce back up past the 0, right? Price will most of the time only come back up to the 0.2 mark, right? The 0.236 right here, and then we'll see it continue back down like it did. This is just another indicator. This isn't anything that's a 100% factoid that you can use to make money with every time. This is just another indicator. The point of indicators are to use as many as possible, and if you can get 5 indicators to work in sync with each other, suggesting price will go one way or another, then that helps you to solidify the trade you're about to enter into, right? And so that's all this is. That's all any of this stuff is. The pitchfork right here, Gann box, Fibonacci retracement, the trend-based Fibonacci extension. That one's actually my favorite to use. All this is just different indicators. You got other indicators up here like your moving average. I use the exponential moving average. You can set that at different levels. You see them back here, this golden line and this blue line right here, a purple line. Those are moving averages. You can also set up the... Okay, so KuCoin doesn't do the candlesticks, but TradingView does, where you can set indicators up to show certain candlestick patterns. But all this stuff, I don't know what most of this even is, because it's just used as different ways of showing indications that price potentially will go a certain direction. So utilizing these indicators with these indicators, with the Forex chart patterns, with the candlestick patterns, and with the support resistance zones, with your trend lines, your trend zones, all that synced together will show you a nice indication of which way price will go, and you'll be able to justify entering into a trade, whether it's a short or a long, because you've linked up so many indications, right? But I mean, besides that, you guys, that's the basics of trading. Future trades on KuCoin, you go to any other broker and it's essentially the same way. You're going to see your limit and stop. You're going to see the amount, the price you want to enter in. The leverage is sometimes set up prior to opening an account. And so like with Hugo's Way, with Hugo's Way, you set up your account, you can get up to 500x leverage. 500 times leverage may seem like a great idea, but you have to take in consideration you can make 500 times the amount you put into the trade instantly, but you could also lose 500 times the amount you put into the trade just as fast, right? And so leverage, I like to keep my leverage somewhat low, and KuCoin offers 5x. I think 5x is perfect. I don't need to go any higher than that for the time being. But you'll see a long, enter into a long, enter into a short, your take profits, your stop loss. All of this is essentially going to be the same on any other broker, all right? Yeah, besides that, you have pretty much all the same stuff here on the side as you would on TradingView. A lot of people use TradingView as their way of mapping up charts or marking up charts. But that's about it, you guys. If you're going to do this, just be careful not to lose all your money. Keep in mind your liquidation price. Set your stop losses so you only lose 10% of your trade, 10% of the money you invested into that trade. If you're not comfortable holding on for the road, you know. So like just last week, my unrealized profit, one thing I didn't go over was unrealized profits and loss and realized profits and loss. So unrealized profits and loss are where you're sitting at on the trade. So I entered into the trade at about 24 cents. Well, I entered in about 23, and when I bought in at a higher point, it raised my entry price. So now it's about 24.3, and I am sitting at about 1,500 in unrealized profits. That means I don't have this money until I close my position. And once I close my position, that's when I'll have the $1,500 in profits sitting in my account, right? That's what realized profits and loss are. I could exit the trade, I could exit 50% of the trade, take half of my profits, and keep the rest of the trade going for as long as I want. And I would have half those profits then sitting in my future account, right? But besides that, if your trade, if you enter in where I entered in and price decides to come back down to 22 cent or even to 21 cent, my unrealized profit and loss would then be in the red and I would be negative, meaning if I exited the trade at that moment, whatever my loss is from unrealized would then become realized, and I would be sitting at a loss. And that's what you see here. I took a little bit of a loss right here because what happened was I entered into the trade at a bad time and seen price come down. So when it came back up to like this point right here, I happened to be at my computer that day, so I exited part of my trade, incurring a little bit of a loss, but then I was able to get in, I was able to enter back into the trade down here to lower my entry point, which in return got me larger profits when price made its way back up. So I hope that all made sense. Krista, if you're still in here, if you have any questions, feel free to ask away. If anybody else is in here and has any questions, feel free to ask away. That is essentially the basics of future trading on KuCoin. And like I said, you can take this knowledge to any other broker. You don't have to use just KuCoin as your broker. There's Owanda is out there, I believe, is a broker. You got Hugo's Way is a broker. I'm not even sure. You could probably just Google future, if you want to do just crypto future trading brokers. That best future trading platforms, 5 best futures trading platforms, cryptocurrency brokers. So like they're showing eToro. I don't really use too much. I don't really use anything else but KuCoin, to tell you the truth. But here's a nice little area where they compare some brokers for you, if you guys are interested. But some of these also, you'll see that they do have demos where you can open up a demo account. I haven't found that on KuCoin, but I know for like Hugo's Way, you can open up a demo account and practice trading, doing future trades with just fake money. It definitely is beneficial to utilize these demo accounts if you're going to get into this full-time and seriously. It's definitely something to look into, utilizing a demo account for sure. It'll help you practice. You could be trading every minute if you wanted to. You could go down to the 1 minute time frame and start mapping up. Support and resistance zones can be found in every single time frame. So as you see here, this is the 1 minute time frame. If I were to get my rectangle here, a nice little zone right here, we could duplicate it. Fine, this is probably a nice little zone right in here. We'll do the easy ones up here. You see price consolidated through here for the last 20-30 minutes or so, and it broke. It's retesting now on the 27.5 resistance zone. It broke its support. It's literally that easy. You just mark it up and start trading. But like I said, there's a lot of great strategies out there. It's just a crypto trading strategy is going to be much different than a Forex trading strategy. So I like to utilize the master candle strategy when trading Forex. And the master candle strategy, you look for a master candle. Okay, a master candle would be something like this candle right here. The reason this is a master candle is because the next 4 candlesticks, 1, 2, 3, 4, fit inside this one candlestick. You could move them all directly to the left, and when you move them to the left, you see all 4 of them would fit right inside this candlestick just fine. So that suggests price is going to keep moving to the downward position. And look, you can see right there that it did. And in utilizing the master candle system, I would come and get the trend-based Fibonacci tool, map up the master candle itself, and now I know whenever price breaks below the bottom point of the candle, you can see the next time it breaks below that, it will go to at least your first take profit, which would be at the 0.277 mark. And then your second level of take profit would be at the 0.275 mark. Okay? And so this would be your third level of take profit and your fourth level of take profit. The longer you wait, the more risky it gets, in the sense if you don't take profit at the first level, and you're waiting for the second level, price could come down halfway right here and decide to reverse. Especially in the crypto space, price can reverse at any moment. And so this is just one way to mark up the chart and to utilize like the master candle system to maybe understand why you're entering into a trade. Like I said, it's just another indicator. That's it. And so you would use this with the 40 exponential moving average, which we see I got right here it is. And you want to also utilize the top-down analysis when utilizing this system. But again, the system works best in the Forex market, not in the crypto market. Crypto is much more volatile and much more emotional based trading, and so it's a lot easier to lose your money than on the Forex market, because it's easier to calculate a nice risk management type system for you to use, and then at the end of the day you can know going into trades you have a 60% chance or 70% chance this trade is going to be a successful trade, because you're utilizing all the indicators you've been taught, And so yeah, I mean, that's about it, you guys. This is my first stream back since right before Christmas. I had to take a break from streaming. Had a lot of stuff going on, and so my time is more free these days. So I'm going to try to do more streams going forward, more educational streams going forward. I was streaming a lot of blockchain games last year, and as fun as that was, it just wasn't the type of streaming that I enjoy doing. And so I enjoy more so streaming about useful knowledge, like how to do future trades. I did a couple of streams last year. One, I broke down the Polkadot and KSM network and how getting into the IAO, they're not game, IAO, initial asset offering, IEO it might have been, for KuCoin, or on KuCoin for the Polkadot network or the KSM network with Moonriver, Moonbeam, all that stuff. I was breaking down that last year, broke down a couple other projects. I seem to enjoy that more, so going forward, that's where I'll be focusing my time and effort. Anybody that's in the chat, if you want to join the Discord, I offer a lot of really valuable knowledge on the Discord, and everything I learn I try to put onto the Discord for anybody to be able to come and enjoy the knowledge. Feel free to share your own knowledge if you join. I love when people share, and so we can just build a nice solid community of just people that want to learn. It's not an NFT project, it's not a gaming guild or anything of the sort. But if you see down to the bottom, I have an area where I discuss different crypto projects that I feel are doing really good stuff in the space. We talk about mining, like proof of work, proof of stake, proof of coverage. We talk about, I got a whole for beginners section where you can get into the intro, history of blockchain, learn the basics. I think I'm going to go through and make my own personal videos on all these subjects. But you got scams, got a whole section on scams, VPNs, why you should have a VPN, wallets, NFTs, play to earn, just a lot of really cool stuff. I even get into some layer 2 protocol stuff, and we get into the IDO, IAO stuff. It's just a lot of really cool stuff. And then at the top is the play to earn sections, crypto gaming, Axie is in there, some other games like Blancos, and then we talk about NFTs, and then we got our main section where everything in crypto is shared. This is our main discussion point, main play to earn discussion. It's just a really good server if you're trying to learn about crypto. Like I said, I try to share as much as I can in here and try to have it just readily available for anybody that wants to learn more about crypto, more about trading, more about NFTs, more about the play to earn space, really just more about anything involving crypto. Welcome back, Krista. I'm kind of wrapping it up. We can stay on the stream, and I'm actually going to end this stream, unless you have questions about the KuCoin future trading lesson I kind of just went over. If you don't have any questions about that, Krista, I'm going to end the stream, and then I'll start a new one back up, so that way I can share this video with anyone that is wanting to watch it specifically for the knowledge of future trading. And so, if not, I believe that was everything. I appreciate you being in here, Krista. But I believe that's everything for this subject. If you have no questions, I'm not seeing anything pop up. So what I can do is I'll end the stream, and then I'll start a new one back up. You wanted to talk about the B network a little bit, I think. And like I said, I looked into it a little bit a while ago, so we can definitely talk about it for a moment. I don't have anything else going on. But feel free to join the Discord if you're open to learning more. I posted it in the chat. I think it's in all the chats now. Yeah, I think it posted. Cool. All right, I'm gonna end the stream.